Hello and welcome back to year 2 of the Great Clans. I'm Nex, your local cheetah, and this year has got me hitting my desk so many times. The literal first thing that happened on Savannah Clan was the prophecy Kestrel, Freckle, and Conkertuft received getting at least partially fulfilled. But Chestnut is dying. I was so ready to have some long-standing plot about the prophecy, and then it turns out it was just Chestnut his being murdered. She was murdered on the first moon of the year. The girl couldn't even do anything this year. I have nothing on her because she died immediately. The only thing I can say now that we have time is that, as you may see, I changed how I draw paws slightly. I think they look a lot better now. But anyway, moving on, because sadly, Chestnut isn't the only one in StarClan this year. There's also Stag Eye. My man got buried under a rock slide. I mean, it was obvious something like this would happen, as he was like the second oldest cat in the whole clan. In all clans, actually, I think. But it's still really sad, especially because only a few moons before that, he and Whirlblush became mates and adopted 2 kids. I'm sad now, but as he is an elder and hasn't done much before death either, moving on to the living, you know. Windstar is still kicking with all 9 lives at 135 moons. He surprisingly also became mates with Fleet Swoop, around the same time Stag Eye and Whirlbush became mates. And they even had 2 kids together. He worked himself into an anxiety attack after hearing he was going to be a father, but has since calmed down and even took one of his kids as an apprentice. He's actually doing really well, all considered, and I hope he'll be around for a little longer to lead the clan. Next up is Crooked Flare, the new deputy. Whirlbush retired, so he took up her place as the most competent cat in the clan right now, and he was given another apprentice, one of Whirlbush's kids, and has been a great mentor so far. Aside from that, not really anything to say about him, sadly. So moving on. Kestrel, Freckle, still got troubles with that name, is still going as the sole medicine cat of Savannah Clan at 115 moons, but hasn't really done anything this year. They were a little overwhelmed with the sudden influx of kittens to care for, but dealt with it pretty well, telling stories all around and having fun with the little troublemakers. And they were gifted some catmint by Navia. I'm pretty sure Navia gave them that because, catmint and saw that they were stressed. And please ignore that I completely forgot the catmint at first, or that I have no idea how to draw catmint. This is the best I can do. Anyway, on to our warriors. First, of course, is Navia at 120 moons. She's probably going to retire soon, which I'm kind of sad about, but at least she will first pass her skill onto her apprentice, Whirlbush and Stag Eye's second kid. I'm trying out a new way to draw the burn scars too, and I think this one's a lot better than the one before. But tell me what you think, please. I'm trying to improve here. She hasn't done much and probably won't do much until death, because, elder. So, moving on. Next up is Conkertuft, who hasn't really been having a good time. When Chestnut has died, she was horrified of the possibility that her son, as the second cat in the prophecy, would meet that same end and succumb to a few long moons of insomnia. She really hasn't done anything but worry since we started. Poor girl. On to Petal Dusk, who actually came out as gender fey recently. Vi uses Vi, Vim, and AM pronouns, and for those who don't know what gender fey is, it's essentially a gender fluid identity, but never male aligned. When Vim's daughter died, A bargained with StarClan, begging them to bring her back, and talked to Kestrel Freckle about Vi's daughter and her place in StarClan. I think M's daughter dying was a very traumatic event that caused Vim to think more about Viself and figure out M's identity. We're also not very consistent with Vi's design because it's so complicated, so if there's differences in our video, please just ignore it. Next is the now only prophecy cat of Savannah Clan, Lemonback. Lemonback took on the training of Windstar's second kid, and well, he's struggling just a little bit with him, which is understandable as he is his first apprentice, and Lemonback is still only 25 moons old. Aside from that, he was also seen talking to a mountain clan cat, which is interesting, though I haven't figured out who it was yet. The next few are some new faces, the apprentices, aka Woolbush and Stageyes adopted kids, and Windstars and Fleet Swoop's kids. First off, we have Birchpaw and Twilightpaw. They are the kids Woolbush found. Birchpaw is an ambitious 9-moon-old cat apprenticed under Navia, and she is confident with words and a lover of stars. Castor Freckle told her and her brother many stories of StarClan, which I think is where the trait came from, as both of them have it. Twilightpaw is a nervous Tom under Crooked Flare's guidance, and he's actually chronically light sensitive. These two are the calm litter, and a lot of cats have had status that they think one or both of them will make great warriors and clanmates someday. I like to think these two are absolutely spoiled due to their heritage and behavior, and they absolutely love it. Windstar and Fleet Swoop's kids, on the other hand, are Coniferpaw and Cloverpaw. Coniferpaw is adventurous and constantly climbing, while her brother is sincere and confident with words. They are 7 moons old and the troublemakers of the clan. Conifer always gets in trouble sneaking out and mouthing off, and then drags in her brother to talk her out of trouble. When she was a kid, she challenged her father to a yowl-off to cheer him up, which was adorable, and only recently she snuck out to hunt alone and somehow safely crossed the Thunder Path, bringing home a lot of food. This cat gives me heart attacks left and right, and I swear... She's apprenticed under Windstar himself due to being so difficult to handle, while Cloverpaw is the one training under Lemonback. I gave both of them a floppy ear because I thought it was cute, and from now on, when one of them has kids, I will roll to see if they inherit it. That's all the apprentices, so on to our elders, starting of course with Fleet Swoop, who randomly decided to give birth to 2 kittens at 161 moons old. She's now 168, and still the same vengeful old hag she was before. She seriously gave me and the clan a heart attack with that move, but luckily somehow lived through the strain, though it was a close call. And the last of Savannah clan is Woolbush, at 125. She had a good run, as short as it was for us, and is living happily in the Elder's Den, watching her children grow up into fine warriors. She does currently have tinnitus, I don't know how to say it, and I don't know how this works just yet, but I think it means she has a possibility of going deaf. I don't know, but we'll see. That's all for Savannah clan, so on to Jungle clan, who also sadly has a few deaths. First of all is poor Blue Freckle. Blue Freckle saved Rushreek from a fox right at the beginning of year 2 and ended up dying from those wounds only 3 moons in, so she couldn't do anything else either, being basically nest-ridden for the entire time. It seems all my faves are dying. The next death is Tempest Ghost, sadly. He was bitten by a snake and died in a moon event. The only thing he really did before death was bringing down a dehydrated half-grown fawn with Valley Throat and Shade Beetle, getting a ton of food for the clan. That's all our deaths in this clan, luckily, so on to Rainstar, who's still leading Jungle Clan. At 156 moons, he's still there, the same as always, and literally has done nothing this year, aside from mourn his former apprentice, of course. Sapspot is still the deputy at 115 moons, also having done literally nothing. Nothing happened this year in Jungle Clan, honestly. Ulight is still the sole medicine cat. He's had a lot to do this year because of a bunch of sick cats, but hasn't done much else either. Like I said, literally nothing happened. Next up, however, is a new face, Mulberry Dapple. He was found on a thunder path with head damage and somehow survived. He's 100 moons old, cold, a trusted advisor and lore keeper. He also survived Yellow Cough only a little later and is now once again injured with frostbite after a hunting patrol where Shade Beetle had the same hunting idea that his son had before. It very obviously also failed. His design ended up a little crazy, admittedly, because I made it at midnight on a random Friday, but I love it and all the mad cartoon scientist it gives. He's fluffy, but he will curse your entire bloodline with one look from those eyes. Next up is Shade Beetle, who has recovered greatly from his messed up tail. It is a little crooked now, but we still love our vengeful father. Anyway, Shade Beetle took down a fawn with Tempest Ghost and Valley Throat this year, and also, like said, attempted the same hunting technique her son did when Tempest got his frostbite scar. It did very obviously not go well. Bloom and Mulberry Dapple got the brunt of it, but he was mostly fine. Just some shivering. Shade Beetle also surprisingly became mates with Valley Throat. I honestly did not expect that, but they're close enough in age, so I'm just gonna let this play out and see what happens. Bloom hasn't done much this year aside from making me lose my mind, because it's so hard to replicate that design I gave him. He did find a dog toy, aka the bone you see here, and decided to keep it, which I think is very cute, but that's about it. Valley Throat, as mentioned before, became mates with Shade Beetle, and I just realized that makes him Silver Leopard's stepdad. That's weird to think about. He helped take down a fawn, but hasn't done anything else, and his design honestly looks horrible. I don't know how I drew his shape. I don't like it. But it's the best I could do, and I guess it kind of works. Anyway, up next we have Rush Streak. Rush Streak was saved from a fox by Blue Freckle, who ended up dying because of it. He feels extremely guilty about it and thinks he should have been able to protect himself, so Blue Freckle wouldn't have to. He occasionally sneaks out to Blue Freckle's grave and just spends his time there, feeling a little closer to the younger cat. Her death really hit him hard and he hasn't been able to do much else, too consumed by grief. Silver Leopard, as Blue Freckle's brother, was shocked at her sudden death. He used to be kind of a dick to her and others, but loved his sister dearly and was absolutely out for blood after she succumbed to her wounds. As you can probably already see, he has a new scar on his tail. Said scar was gained from a fox, the same fox that took Blue Freckle's life actually. Silver Leopard went to hunt down the fox in revenge and was scarred in the process. However, she did also get a few good licks in chasing the fox off clan territory. The next cat is another new face, Capella Burn. Capella Burn was found near a thunder bath after being abandoned there. Capella Burn had silver cough, but Capella Burn recovered relatively fast from it. As you might have noticed, I'm not using any pronouns for Capella Burn, as I decided Capella Burn does not use them and will only be referred to by Capella Burn's name. Capella Burn only joined at the end of the year and hasn't done anything, but I had a lot of fun drawing Capella Burn. Capella Burn joined with these funky shoes, and Capella Burn is a troublesome Tom who is a good fighter. I really like Capella Burn so far, and I hope Capella Burn will live longer. The last cat of Jungle Clan is Pansy Paw, who is now a warrior by the name of Pansy Back. He was honored for his assurance and honesty. I did not mean to draw him this sad. He's cold with natural intuition and often critiques others fighting. I wanted to bring that into his expression, but failed spectacularly. I suck at expressions, so after the sneer didn't work out, I thought I'd make him look uninterested. That didn't work out either, so now he just looks sad. That's all for Jungle Clan, so on to Mountain Clan. Up first is sadly a trip to Star Clan, though you don't know this cat. This is little Glint Kit. Glint Kit was one of Tornstar and Flystream's adopted kittens, but froze to death during a snowstorm when he was just 2 moons old. He was a bossy kid and a picky nest builder, but aside from that, really didn't have much personality. He was a kid after all. Also, don't mind me forgetting that my Star Clan cats in my style do not have pupils. That's the only death, so in the living cats we have of course Tornstar and Flystream, still leading the clan as an absolute power couple. And they have children now. 2 of them are still alive and happy, currently being taken care of in the nursery by Fringeby, for reasons you will hear later. The 2 of them are very busy leading the clan and don't have the time to stay in the nursery for long. That's definitely why French is taking care of them, not because I completely forgot they have kids when I drew them together. Nuh-uh, it was all part of the plan. Aside from that, Flystream is a mentor now, which makes him even busier and he definitely feels a little overworked. But not to worry, Tornstar is always there to help him relax a bit. Shard Pond is still the mad cat, dealing with way too many kittens, but he's actually doing pretty great right now. He hasn't been injured or had to grieve anyone, no major drama involving him, though someone did confess their love for him this year. This year has been extremely chill for him. The only thing he's really had to worry about are the two warriors that keep on getting injured. You'll see who I mean soon. Actually, you'll see right now, as one half of the trouble is a new cat, Pink Sky. He's a 97-moon-old former kitty pet who is fierce and fairly clairvoyant. He came to the clan after being abandoned, and I didn't write it down, but I'm pretty sure he was sick when he joined. Then he recovered, and now he's got a mangled leg due to a two-leg trap. You see what I mean now? He and the other warrior I won't name yet recover and then immediately get injured or sick again. I feel like that duo will cause a lot of trouble in the future. Next up is another new cat, a former rogue named Boneflight, and I absolutely love her name. She's 45 moons old, strict, and a fast runner, and honestly I cannot say much about her. She literally joined on the last moon of the year, so she hasn't done jack. And I haven't really gotten a feel for her personality yet either. But I love her design. I started getting a bit more experimental with fringe designs, so you'll see a few more like that. The next cat is someone you know, good old Leopard still as bloodthirsty as always. Literally nothing happened to him this year. He got an apprentice, but that's about it. He's done literally nothing. There's nothing to talk about. In fact, right now what I'm doing is just stalling, so it doesn't seem like he has nothing at all. But he doesn't. He did nothing. Anyway, on to our second half of Shard Pond's problem. Pawn spots, aka the young warrior who can't stop getting hurt. At first things went well for him this year. Then he tried hunting in the snow and got frostbite, and just as he finally recovered from that, he got silver cough. He's fine now, thankfully, and hasn't yet gotten a new addition to his scars. Hopefully it stays that way. Next up is Snipbeak. And you remember how I said someone confessed to Shard Pond and got rejected? Yeah, that's him. And as charismatic as Shard Pond is, he's straight up brutal in the ways of love. Snipbeak didn't recover from the rejection for like 2 whole moons. He's definitely better now, and even got an apprentice, but honestly has not done much else, so moving on. And now we're making a little trip to the apprentice den for our 4 siblings. First up is Rabbit Paw. Rabbit Paw is a lonesome Tom, but quick to help. He's apprenticed under another cat you don't know who is currently in a nursery, so we'll get to her later. He and the rest of his brothers, yes they are all Toms, are Fringe Bees litter and 10 moons old. Rabbit Paw is the fluffiest of the 4 and I genuinely love that. The next sibling is Scorch Paw. He's Snipbeak's apprentice and a shameless lover of stories. He's a very goofy cat since the funky pose I drew him in, and loves just making other cats question everything by walking around weirdly, mimicking crows, and hunting in a very peculiar way that involves way too much zigzagging for most of his clanmates to understand. The last 2 of the litter, and also our last apprentices for now, are Scalepaw and Sparrowpaw. They are very close and apprenticed under Flystream and Leopard respectively. While Scalepaw is charismatic and constantly climbing, Sparrowpaw is daring and a good listener. I took the liberty of interpreting their traits as Sparrow constantly dares Scale to climb trees as high as possible, to the point they made a little game out of it. They definitely give the older cats some grief with their antics, but no one stops them because it is a good skill to have in the cliffs. The litter is actually only purely Tom's because Sparrowpaw came out as a trans guy when he was a kid. Good for him, honestly. That's all our apprentices, so for going the elders then, as we do not have any elders, we're going into the nursery. First in the nursery is Mumblestone with his single kid Warbler kid. Mumblestone actually discovered that he is part of a system this year. He and 4 other alters, which I also drew, make up their system. Warbler kid, meanwhile, is an unruly she-cat with an active imagination. Next up is Rabbit Paw's mentor, the former kitty pet Spatula. Her name is awesome. She's a trans female cat and has 2 newborn kittens that were born in the clan, Creek Kid and Mumble Kid. Creek Kid is self-conscious Molly, and Mumble Kid is an attention seeker. I definitely think she named Mumble Kid after Mumblestone because look at them! Last in the nursery is Fringe Bee. Again, after his first litter of our 4 lovely apprentices, he straight up had a litter of 3 more, and because Flystream and Tornstar are so busy, he additionally takes care of their 2 surviving kids, as they are the same age as his. Aside from happily bringing back way too many kids, Fringe Bee hasn't actually done much. I guess he was a little busy, huh? So we're moving on to the 5 kittens currently with him. How any of these kids are getting fed, no one knows. Boneflight is the only cat who could technically feed them, but she is not currently giving milk, nor do I think she'd be willing to take in a gaggle of kids. So anyway, first up we have the leader and deputy's kids. As we know, one of the litter sadly died, but 2 more survived. Snapdragon Kid, who is a daydreamer and never sits still, and Sun Kid, who is skittish and interested in clan history. They are both 5 moons old, so they're gonna be apprentices soon, just like Fringe Bee's litter, Mer Kid, Rain Kid, and Conquer Tuft. Man, the apprentice den is gonna be overflowing for a while. Mer Kid is a sweet kitten and quick to help. They are absolutely adorable and actually have aneuploidy. I don't know what that meant. I didn't know what that meant before, but I do know. So for those who don't, it basically means they are intersexed with abnormal chromosome numbers. I don't know if it's part of the condition or not, but they also look really pinkish, which is funky. Next up is Rain Kid, who is also skittish but still quick to help. They actually came out as gender fey as well and goes by Zazir and Stag's pronouns. Stag is the only kid of Fringe Bees who doesn't have amber eyes, which is very interesting to me, but as a kid very obviously hasn't done much yet. The last of these kitties is of course Conquer Kid. He is an impulsive Tom, quick-witted, and a restless sleeper. CapCut kinda refuses to work with me here with the length of the video and the length of the audio, so I'll just talk a bit so you're not caught in awkward silence. But that's about it anyway. So that's year 2 of the Great Clans. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like and a comment. Now that I've gotten a feel for the time needed to organize and edit everything, I'd say it will take about 1 to 2 months in between each video, and I think that's pretty decent for having to play, draw, and narrate 3 whole clans. If you're interested, I'm also on Discord, and I actually both write and draw different stories and challenges on the main ClanGen server, so be sure to check that out too. Bye bye! I recorded this all in one sitting, so now my voice is fucked.